My name is Sacha Specker. I work for Black Bean Productions. I'm the photographer and director. My passion for conservation started in my younger years. I ended up studying nature conservation and received a national diploma, but didn't end up working in that field for quite some years. Almost a decade later, I was approached by Black Bean Productions to assist them on a shoot, and at that time I was working in commercial photography and advertising, and I had an understanding of what it took to make commercials and short films and photograph on a commercial level, but I had never worked in the bush on that capacity. That first job was a real eye-opener for me. I came on as an assistant. I got a cold call from the Black Bean team asking if I was available over certain dates and if I was keen to work in the bush, and of course I jumped right onto that opportunity, and I've never looked back. Since then we have really evolved the process of filmmaking and working as a team, and of course facing the day-to-day challenges. It's definitely not your regular film set, and working with characters who potentially have never seen a camera before is always challenging, no matter how you look at it. We're always a limited crew. There's never many of us, usually 3 or 4, and you really have to work together as a team and face those challenges head on. Quite often nothing goes according to plan, but you still need to keep moving forward and make sure that the shoot is a success, and that's what working as a team has really taught me, and thank goodness it doesn't always go according to plan, because some of the best results have come from in that moment feeling like absolute disasters, but yeah, the reward is immense. I'll talk about my very first shoot with Black Bean Productions. I was called out to assist them in East Africa, in the Grimeti. It's a northern part of the Serengeti ecosystem. And I was packing, carrying, setting up, breaking down, and just being a general all-round assistant for Ollie and James, who were at that time directing and shooting. And from there we have evolved and grown as a team, building stronger and stronger products and relationships with clients who really believe in what we do, and know that the Black Bean team, when we really put our heart into what we do, the results can be top notch. I feel I'm very proud to be part of the Black Bean team now. We started in 2015 our relationship, and we have grown to today, where I'm directing some of these films, which has been an amazing blessing for me, and I feel very lucky to have worked with such an incredible team, and to have such a team believe in me and my ability and allowing me to grow into a director, whereas when I started off I was just assisting. So it's been an amazing journey. My 3 favorite shoots, I think, are there was a very memorable shoot in Kenya, a place called the Laikipia region, on a property named Olpejeta, and we were shooting a story for United for Wildlife, if I'm not mistaken. It was about the last remaining northern white rhino, which since then have become functionally extinct. Only 2 females remain, and the male, who we spent a lot of time with, some people might know, his name was Sudan. That was an iconic moment for me when I realized the importance of what it is that we as Black Bean are trying to achieve, and how important these stories are to be told. I think right up there with my favorite jobs, trips with Black Bean, I guess, was a shoot up in the Grimeti, and it wasn't just one shoot. We kind of had a multiple ventures into trying to complete a film, which is now ready for the world to see. We were working on a project called The Edge of Existence, and those were some very memorable moments, lying in the bush under a log in the middle of the Serengeti, waiting for poachers on an ambush, and eventually that paying off, and we end up getting live footage of the special operations group on the ground there arresting and apprehending a whole bunch of poachers who were walking out of the concession with hundreds of kilograms of bushmeat that they had poached over a few weeks. So it was kind of that glue that brought all of that hard work together to make me realize how lucky and incredible these experiences are, how lucky we are to have them, and how incredible they are, and how important they are that we document and tell those stories to the world. So it's given me, I guess, in one way, a sense of purpose, and a huge sense of appreciation for what it is that we have on this planet, and what's worth conserving and saving and talking about, I guess. All of this obviously doesn't come without challenges. There's an array of never-ending challenges when you are filming in the bush or in any sort of uncontrolled environment. Filming or photographing or filming and shooting, it's all a matter of perspective, and it's important to me when we're telling a story, a real story, a documentary, that we don't have an agenda, and that we don't paint the picture with the same brush from one side, but that we tell the whole story. And that's sometimes very difficult because we're emotional creatures, and we get attached to certain sides of it, and we want to have some form of bias. But it's taught me a lot to really step back and focus on what it is that we're there to do, and persevere at that. And I guess the biggest challenges are the uncertainty every day when you wake up. You're not sure on what the day holds. We don't have call sheets. We don't have a list of crew and characters who are waiting for us to kind of bark orders and get through the shot list for the day. We really have to make things happen, and sometimes that means waiting for hours and end for the rain to stop, or trying to stay productive while it's raining to shoot stuff that can potentially help tell us the story. Very often we're working with people who don't speak a word of English, and none of our Swahili is very competent as of yet, but we always do manage, and we find a way to work around that, and it sometimes has helped us to really authenticate our filmmaking process, because in the end we really went out there and captured what it is that was happening, and that story gets told in the end, which is what we want. And then there's obviously the other side of challenges, where we are very often working for a client, and as much as we would like to tell the story that is really happening, we also need to bear in mind that there's deliverables that some of our clients are expecting from us, and we need to make sure that we tick off those boxes first and foremost, and then we start having discussions where we could potentially try and free some of that creative process that we like to bring to our products, and sometimes some clients are more willing to give us the creative freedom to tell the story, and other clients are slightly more rigid and don't like to do that, and those are big challenges, because in the end we want to make sure that everyone is happy and receives the product that they felt like they deserve. We're very proud of what we do. I think the whole Black Bean crew, there's definitely no egos involved, there's no ulterior motives, and there's definitely no agendas that we're trying to push. It's a very authentic. I know that word's been used a lot in today's world, but it really is an authentic team working towards a common goal, which has really given me a sense of purpose and pride to work for such an amazing team. So yeah, check them out. They've got amazing content coming out even during this interesting time that we're living in. While lockdown is happening, I see they've been shooting. So I look forward to many more years and exciting adventures ahead.